Have you ever thought about how wealthy the US president is? You might be surprised by the numbers. Joe Biden's close allies are furious because his present net worth is significantly less than what one would anticipate for someone in his position. This tale serves as an example of how wealth is frequently far more nuanced than the media portrays. Watch this video through until the finish because the information I'm going to provide you will make you reevaluate all of your presumptions about the Biden family's financial situation. After serving as a U.S. Senator for several decades, Joe Biden was elected President of the United States. His career has evolved in front of the public throughout the years. What about his own money, though? After all, someone who has been in office for so long must have earned a good income. You might be surprised to learn that the reality is a little different. Biden's family has been worried about his financial worth, which is nothing to boast about, particularly when compared to other prominent people. Let's dissect it and examine Joe Biden's financial situation in more detail. Joe Biden's estimated net worth as of right now is $8 million, which is a significant amount, but much less than one might anticipate for someone who has been involved in politics for nearly 40 years. Since it's not quite as large as previous political figures' fortunes, it begins to cause some concern when compared to the enormous wealth of other U.S. presidents. How could someone who has been so high up in American politics not have built more wealth, is a question you may be asking. In reality, this story is far more intricate than it first appears. Biden has had both highs and lows in his financial career. He led a modest life in his early years. Despite receiving a respectable salary as a senator, he was not affluent. Biden's wealth didn't increase as much as some might have thought, even when he was elected vice president. Due in large part to book agreements, speaking engagements, and other activities, his net worth started to increase more significantly when he left the administration in 2017. Even still, his fortune increased more slowly than most people may have assumed. Biden's preference for public service over personal benefit is one of the primary causes of his extremely low net worth. His commitment to serving the American people was well known throughout his career, but it came at a cost. Biden refused to participate in the common habit of politicians abusing their power to seize financial opportunities or other economic endeavors. He chose to work for the people instead, frequently putting his responsibilities as a public servant ahead of his personal interests. That is commendable for someone in his position, but it also explains why his wealth hasn't increased as much as that of other well-known families. What was Biden's family's response to his financial predicament? There is no denying that Joe Biden's family has experienced hardship. Following the untimely death of his son Beau Biden from brain cancer in 2015, the family has experienced more personal losses. Their perception of wealth and money has been impacted by these hardships. However, Biden's comparatively low personal value has drawn criticism in recent years. The fact that Biden hasn't amassed the wealth that other political families have despite decades of service has angered his family, especially his wife Jill Biden and their kids. Given how hard he has worked during his career, this is a difficult pill to accept. The total amount of debt that Biden has accrued over the years is another element affecting his financial situation. Biden wasn't exactly wealthy when he was in politics. He continued to accrue substantial debt even after winning the vice presidential election, frequently needing to use credit and loans to pay for personal costs. In fact, Biden disclosed that he and his spouse owed over $500,000 during his first presidential campaign in 2020. Although politicians frequently have debt, it is unexpected for someone who has held such high positions for such a long time. The Biden family is even more dissatisfied with their financial status as a result of their continuous debt battle. However, the tale is not just about debt and low income. The strain that Biden's financial circumstances have placed on his family has contributed to their unhappiness. The public's view of the Biden's wealth, or lack thereof, has been a challenge. Even though the families of many influential politicians profit from their wealth, the Bidens have had to struggle to lead a normal life despite constant public scrutiny. It's a challenging circumstance, particularly if you're accustomed to witnessing other families in comparable circumstances possess significantly greater financial autonomy. Joe Biden has stayed dedicated to his position as a public servant in spite of these difficulties. He is well known for his grounded demeanor and capacity to connect with regular Americans. Part of the reason people love him is that they see him as one of them. However, his relatability to the general public also makes his family's financial difficulties more apparent. In contrast to other well-known families, many of whom are quite affluent, the Bidens lead a humble lifestyle. Biden's dedication to public service is admired by some, but others wonder why he hasn't amassed more riches over the years. Despite the fact that Biden's financial status is far from ideal, it's crucial to remember that he is not alone. A lot of politicians decide to put their public duty ahead of their own financial interests. Even though some politicians may become wealthier than others, their legacy, rather than their money account, is frequently the real prize for these people. Joe Biden's beliefs, commitment to duty, and desire to change the world are reflected in his wealth. In contrast, his family finds it more difficult to accept this fact, particularly in light of the fact that others in comparable circumstances are experiencing significantly greater financial success. Let's pause to consider what we now know about Joe Biden's fortune as we conclude this video. Even if his financial circumstances are unexpected, they serve as a reminder that material wealth isn't always a reliable indicator of a person's value. Biden's dedication to helping people has defined his career, and his family has always been there for him. That does not, however, imply that they are not annoyed by their lack of financial independence, in contrast to other political families. You are therefore not alone if the reality of Joe Biden's financial circumstances shocks you. While hardly everyone aspires to be wealthy, the circumstances surrounding the Biden family demonstrate that it may nonetheless be a difficult reality to accept. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope you now have a better understanding of the financial situation of one of the most well-known political families in America. For more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button.